Am I the only one feeling immense pain today? Being invested in silver, gold, and precious metal mining stocks today is not a good day any way you slice it or dice it. But what the heck is going on? I thought we had established a new floor in gold at $1,900 per ounce. What's silver doing today? Down 40 cents per ounce. What is causing this to happen? What could be going on, and what do we have to expect as we come into the coming months, quarters, and years? Look, I don't have a crystal ball. I warn you that every time I make a video, but I'll share with you my thoughts on what caused this horrific day that we're having right now in silver, in gold, in platinum, and in particular, the precious metals mining stocks. Gold down almost $30 per ounce, below $1,900. I'm shocked. I really believed that we'd met a new floor and that from 1900 we would go on to new all-time highs and likely before the end of the year. Is that still in play? What do you think? I think it still is, but I will say, if we get down to the low 1800s, my level of confidence will be shaken. Silver down 40 cents per ounce today. What's causing this? Well, it's our friends at the Fed. We've covered that ad nauseum, and they're making interest rates go up, up, up. The rate on the 10-year bond was up to 4.62 today. That is putting huge stress on banks, on the consumer, on corporations, but nonetheless, we continue to see this upward pressure on interest rates, which pushes the value of silver and gold down. But we've got a couple other key components we need to consider about what may be going on right now, pushing down the silver and gold price. Back to the 10-year bond yield, don't forget that just 3 years ago, that 4.62 rate that we have today, 3 years ago, it was sitting at 0.5%. It's gone up over 9 times in the last 3 years, a 9x in terms of 10-year bond yield rate. Guys, this is not sustainable. Again, so much pressure on the bank, so much pressure on consumers, so much pressure on the government and their interest expense. Things cannot continue at this current trajectory. Of course, that's also pushing up the value of the US dollar. The DXY index, which we won't even go there because we know just compares the dollar to a bunch of crappy other currencies. It's hovering around 107. That is historically very high, but all of this is putting downward pressure on the gold price, on the silver price, and of course that's being reflected in the precious metal mining stocks, which are selling at valuations now that appear that just nobody wants to buy these stocks. Could we be at the bottom? I've thought we were at the bottom several times over the last year, year and a half. My crystal ball was dead wrong. It sure feels like, though, sentiment and even price couldn't get much worse than it is now, but we all know the reality is that it could get worse. Now, I talked to an executive this morning from a mining company. He was a little angry. He said, I'm tired of this manipulation, this pressing down, this suppressing of the precious metals themselves, in particular gold and silver, that we've got a concerted effort. Is that what's going on? Is the West and this big geopolitical turmoil that we find ourselves in now, where the BRICS and the Eastern countries are aligning themselves together and becoming more interested in valuing silver and gold at their real value? Do we have the Western powers that be coordinating possibly to push down silver and gold? I'll let you decide that for yourself, although there has been plenty of evidence presented over the last few years that indicates that the price of precious metals has indeed been played around with, we'll say, for decades. First Mining Gold is a development company advancing 2 of the largest gold projects in Canada. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet, located in Quebec, each already has 5 million ounces of gold reserves,
But exploration initiatives are underway at both projects to find even more gold. First Mining is well-financed, has zero debt, and owns an interest in 4 additional Canadian gold development projects.
Another thing that could be in play, we're seeing drawdowns. Yesterday, major 400-point drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Could we be in that situation now where markets are correcting? We're not seeing such a huge drawdown today in the major markets, the S&P and the Dow, but they are down, and are people liquidating? You know, that's a theory or a thesis that many precious metals holders believe in, that when the market crashes, the price of gold, the price of silver will crash. Now, I'd come out and went on a limb and said that I didn't think that would be the case this time. Hey, while I have your attention, please go check out Pimbex if you want to buy some gold, silver, or platinum at these bargain basement prices. They're an online bullion dealer. I've worked with them in the past. I trust them. I also know that they have the best service and prices when I compare them to other sources that I could use. I'd encourage you to do the same. Put them in the mix while you're shopping for gold, silver, and platinum, and I think you'll discover what I discovered, and that is that Pimbex is the best. So guys, we're heading into a difficult couple weeks for the metals. I'd warned you earlier in the week on Monday during the 10 a.m. live stream. I said this could be an ugly, ugly week for the metals, primarily because we have a Fed who is coming out with verbal jiu-jitsu against the markets, against silver and gold, with this story, and that's all that it is, that we're going to be tough on inflation, and we're going to raise rates, and we're going to be hawkish, and we're going to do what it takes to finish the job. And the market is buying it, and that's hurting the value of our metals right now. What we need to have happen is one of two things. Either the market calls the bluff of the Fed, or we actually get some recognition of the reality that right now things aren't good in this country from an economic perspective, that people are having a very difficult time making ends meet, that the economy has slowed down. I read last night that the level of trade between China and the United States has decreased by 3% year over year. We know that trucking companies are hauling 10% less freight right now. But for some reason, that's just not been reflected in the official numbers as of yet. If we get some official recognition of the economy slowing precipitously, all the sheeple will run to the idea that the Fed's going to pivot soon, and we'll have happy days again in the precious metals prices. You know, the other thing that could go on is that people wake up in this country, wake up to the fact that financially, with the amount of debt that our government is currently holding, $33 trillion, are you kidding me? That's untenable, and that it was going to become a major problem that's going to require events to occur that are going to dilute the value, decrease the value of the U.S. dollar. That's the other major event that we could be looking for as precious metals investors as a catalyst to move the prices much higher. When everybody wakes up to the fact that, you know, we are in a major financial pickle right now. Hey, hang in there. I know this has not been a fun day or a fun few days. Trust me, I'm feeling the same pain. Things will get better. Remember, your silver, your gold, your platinum, even to a certain extent, your precious metals mining stocks, those minerals that they are, those minerals that the mining stocks hold have held value for thousands and thousands of years. That will continue to be the case. It will be a bumpy ride, but one that I think ends in a nice, happy place for all of us. Hey, come back to the basement. I appreciate you joining me, and I'll see you soon.